Peter Obi came on live television, calm, measured, and very deliberate with his words. But what he said immediately sent shockwaves through the political space. He did not shout, he did not insult anyone, and he did not make wild claims. Instead, he carefully raised questions about President Tinubu's academic records, focusing on clarity, transparency, and public trust. The moment he mentioned certificates and the need for Nigerians to clearly understand the documents presented by their leaders, the atmosphere changed. This was no longer a normal interview. It became a national conversation unfolding in real time. Peter Obi explained that leadership in a country like Nigeria must be built on trust and verifiable facts. According to him, when questions arise about something as basic as academic records, leaders owe citizens clear answers, not confusion. He stressed that this was not a personal attack, but an issue of accountability. As he spoke, social media began reacting instantly. Clips were shared, comments poured in, and many Nigerians started asking the same question. Why has this issue refused to go away? Please, if you are following this story, like this video and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss the next part. Your support really helps. What made this moment powerful was not just what Peter Obi said, but how he said it. He spoke slowly, choosing his words carefully, almost like a teacher explaining a serious lesson. He reminded viewers that Nigeria has struggled for years because leaders are rarely held to the same standards expected of ordinary citizens. He argued that if leaders want respect, they must be open to scrutiny. That statement alone triggered strong reactions, especially among political supporters on both sides. Within minutes, attention shifted to the APC. Party loyalists appeared unsettled, with some attempting to downplay the issue, while others accused Peter Obi of distracting the government. However, the problem for them was timing. This was live television. Nigerians were watching, listening, and forming opinions for themselves. There was no opportunity to quietly control the narrative. The conversation had already escaped into the public space. As always, don't forget to like this video and subscribe so you can stay updated as this story develops. What makes this issue sensitive is that it touches on credibility. In politics, perception matters almost as much as facts. Once doubt enters the public mind, it becomes difficult to erase. Peter Obi seemed fully aware of this. He did not declare anyone guilty. Instead, he asked questions and left Nigerians to draw their own conclusions. That strategy made the discussion even more powerful because it sounded reasonable and difficult to dismiss. Supporters of Peter Obi quickly praised his approach, saying he spoke like a statesman and focused on principles rather than personalities. On the other side, APC supporters argued that the matter has been addressed before and accused critics of refusing to move on. But the truth is simple. If an issue keeps returning, it means many people are still not satisfied with the answers they have heard. This situation also highlights a bigger issue in Nigerian politics. Many citizens are becoming more vocal and more interested in transparency. Live TV moments like this matter because they give leaders fewer places to hide. Once something is said publicly, it stays in public memory. That is why this single interview has now turned into a nationwide debate. Please like this video and subscribe if you want clear, calm explanations without noise. As reactions continue to pour in, analysts are asking whether this moment will force a stronger official response or whether it will be brushed aside like previous controversies. Either way, the political temperature has clearly risen. Peter Obi's comments have ensured that the conversation is not ending anytime soon. The reactions did not slow down after that interview. Instead, they grew louder and more emotional as hours passed. Supporters and critics began dissecting every sentence Peter Obi spoke on live television. Some replayed the clips repeatedly. Others wrote long opinions online, and political commentators stepped in to explain what they believed he truly meant. What became clear very quickly was that this was no longer just about one interview. It had turned into a test of credibility, leadership, and how Nigerians expect their leaders to respond when questions are raised. What made the moment even more striking was the calm confidence Peter Obi maintained throughout the discussion. He did not look rushed. He did not appear nervous. He spoke as someone who knew the weight of his words and understood that millions were listening. By framing the issue around transparency and trust, he shifted the conversation away from personal attacks and placed it squarely on governance. Many viewers felt this was intentional. Instead of fighting, he asked questions that demanded reflection. Please take a second to like this video and subscribe to the channel. It really helps us bring you clear and balanced stories like this. Inside the APC, reactions appeared mixed. Some party voices moved quickly to defend President Tinubu, insisting that the certificate matter had already been settled and accusing critics of deliberately reopening old wounds. Others chose a quieter approach, avoiding direct confrontation and urging the public to focus on governance and national development. This difference in response alone showed that the issue touched a sensitive nerve. When a party is fully confident, responses are usually unified and firm. When reactions are scattered, it often means there is concern about public perception. For many Nigerians watching, the issue was not about taking sides. It was about standards. Ordinary citizens are required to present documents for jobs, school admissions, and even simple official processes. So when questions arise about the records of top leaders, people naturally expect clarity. Peter Obi tapped into this feeling without sounding confrontational. That is why the conversation spread so quickly. It reflected what many people already felt but had not heard expressed so clearly on live television. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe if you want to stay updated as this story unfolds. Another important layer to this situation is timing. Nigeria is facing serious economic and social challenges. At moments like this, trust in leadership becomes even more important. When citizens feel unsure or confused about the integrity of those in power, it can deepen frustration. Analysts say this is why even a brief comment on live TV can have such a big impact. It lands in an environment already filled with tension and expectation. Peter Obi's supporters see this moment as proof of his consistency. They argue that he has always emphasized accountability and openness, both in and out of office. To them, this interview was not a surprise, but a continuation of his long-standing position. On the other side, APC loyalists warn that constant focus on controversies can distract from governance and create unnecessary division. Both arguments are now competing in the public space, and Nigerians are left to decide which one resonates more. As discussions continue, one thing is certain: this conversation will not disappear overnight. Once questions of integrity enter public debate, they tend to resurface repeatedly until people feel satisfied. Whether the government chooses to address it directly or ignore it, the public reaction has already shown that many Nigerians are paying close attention. Please like this video and subscribe so you don't miss the next update. Going forward, political watchers are asking important questions. Will this force a clearer, more detailed response from those in power? Will it change how future interviews are handled? And most importantly, will it influence how Nigerians judge their leaders going forward? These are the issues now hanging in the air.